Hello and welcome to CATEX-TV. I'm Tom Bailey in London. It's 4:30 PM in London, 11:30 Eastern Time and 12:30 in Bermuda. Today in history. Today in 1830, New York Stock Exchange saw its slowest day ever with a total of 31 shares traded. Incredible. Today in 1952, in Sileos in the Réunion Islands, the world record amount of rain fell. That was 1,870 millimeters. That's nearly 2 meters of rain fell in a single day. Absolutely incredible. And finally, today in 1978, the Red Brigade in Italy kidnapped the former premier Aldo Moro, killing 5 people. And now to the news. Sticking with that theme of kidnapping, the family of a 5-year-old British boy who was kidnapped while in Pakistan say they are ecstatic after he was found safe and well. And it's just been reported that Punjab's law minister told local news channel that in fact a ransom was paid via a third-party country to secure the release of the child. I'm sure there'll be more of that in time to come. Sahil Saeed from Oldham had been snatched from his grandmother's house in Jhelum by armed robbers on the 3rd of March. He is reportedly found abandoned this morning 20 miles away near a village school in the town of Dinga. The family in Oldham in the UK said they were over the moon after the British High Commissioner confirmed Sahil's release. They also said that Sahil's mother, Akila Nakesha, had spoken to her son on the telephone. The kidnapping of the young Briton has focused international spotlight on one of Pakistan's more murky secrets. Kidnapping for ransom is one of the most profitable and widespread criminal enterprises in the country, but it is one that has until now been fairly well hidden. 5-year-old Sahil was kidnapped after an armed men broke into his family home in the town of Jhelum in the Punjab province. Since then, huge media attention has been focused on the police making an all-out effort to recover him. These efforts have clearly borne fruit, as we've seen today. The head of the anti-kidnapping, Mr. Yusuf, is commander of what's called a Citizen Police Liaison Committee, and it focuses on kidnapping. It was formed in 1990 to tackle abductions in collaboration with government security agencies. Mr. Yusuf has been involved in the investigation of more than 400 cases, most of which have been solved. He was instrumental in the investigation of the kidnapping of US journalist Daniel Pearl, who was murdered by his captors, and played a key role in the arrest of the culprits. Anyway, I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that in time to come. Now, we've seen quite a few weather events and earthquake events recently. We now have two cyclones in the Western Pacific, Cyclone Thomas and Cyclone Yuli. You can see the map here. Let's first look at Yuli, which is heading for Australia. Yuli has got sustained winds. It's Category 4 cyclone, sustained winds of 115 knots. In the next 24 hours, it's predicted to ease to a Category 3 hurricane with sustained winds of 105 knots, and clearly it's going to weaken. Well, we hope it's going to weaken as it makes landfall in Australia. Then we've got Cyclone Thomas, which has left Fiji and is now heading out into the sort of Southern Ocean. Looks like on course to steer well clear of Auckland and New Zealand. Hurricane Thomas has got sustained winds of 100 knots. It's Category 3 cyclone. It's forecast in the next 24 hours to weaken to a Category 1 cyclone with 70 knots. So that the category or categorization of cyclones is very different to that of hurricanes. With cyclones, the higher the number, the stronger it is. The CEA, the European Insurance and Reinsurance Federation, will explain its opposition to the capital requirements currently proposed for the forthcoming Solvency II legislation in the European Union. Members of the CEA will speak at a workshop in the European Parliament alongside members of SIOPS, which is the Committee of European Insurance and Occupational Pensions Supervisors, which has proposed much higher capital requirements for insurers. excuse me. In a report, PSYOPs suggested increasing insurers' capital by 30 to 50%. Solvency II is set to become the regulatory framework for the insurance industry across the European Union in 2012. Insurers have complained that such excessive capital requirements will not necessarily bring better security, particularly for catastrophe risks, but will have an impact on premiums costs, which they said would rise for up to 50% for certain lines of business, while also affecting product availability. The CEA has compiled a 40-page report, Why Excessive Capital Requirements Harm Consumers, Insurers and the Economy. Now, following the cat loss reports from a number of insurers, Hiscox, the London, the Lloyd's-based, but Bermuda domicile, but Lloyd's-based entity, today put its expected losses from the Chile earthquake and Hurricane Xanthia, which was the European windstorm of last month, at £100 million. The British company said the loss would result in some reinsurance rate rises. The world's top two reinsurers, Munich and Swiss Re, said last week that the devastating Chile quake could cost the industry up to $7 billion. Hiscox said the insured market loss for the estimates in Chile, where it has indirect exposure through global and regional reinsurance and retrocessional programs, ranged from £1.33 billion to £6.6 billion, while losses linked to Xanthia, which swept through Europe, ranged from £1.33 billion to £2.66 billion. A Bermuda insurance veteran Don Kramer has stepped down as CEO of Ariel Holdings Limited 5 years after founding the company. It was announced on Friday. Mr. Kramer, who will become non-executive chairman of the company, will be succeeded in the role by George Rivas, president of the company and non-executive chairman of Ariel Re Limited, Atrium Underwriting Group, the two companies' main subsidiaries. Mr. Kramer, 72, the former vice chairman of Ace Limited, was honoured with a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Bermuda Insurance Institute in 2008. He has a reputation as a long-time insurance deal-maker and was instrumental in founding Ariel along with some of the world's leading private equity investors in December 2005 in the wake of that year's devastating hurricane season. The company has grown its equity to more than $1.7 billion by the end of last year and announced record profits for the fiscal year 2009. Mr. Kramer is originally from New York with a bachelor's degree in economics from the Brooklyn College and an MBA in economics and investments from New York University. Went on to work in Wall Street as an insurance investment and insurance analyst prior to setting up Oppenheimer Re, his first company based in Bermuda in 1974. He left and returned to the island in 1993 as chairman and CEO of Tempest Re, now part of Ace Tempest Re, a property cat reinsurer he had founded a year earlier in the wake of Hurricane Andrew. Well, we wish him a very happy retirement. That's all from us today. We'll be back with you at the same time tomorrow. Until then, thank you very much and have a good day.